Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. Let's get ready to dive in. First up, let me bring my man Maurice Smith in the building. Mo, first up, how you doing, bro? How's everything?
What's going on, Frank? What do you got on? Is it cold in the house?
It's freezing in the house. It's freezing. That's a whole nother. I'm in a big house, so it's freezing. Don't try to crack on me, Mo. Don't try to crack on me,
I'm
bro.
just saying, you came on the screen with a Shirley on. I'm like,
Yeah, bro. I'm freezing. I'm freezing. I ain't gonna lie. And not to mention, I just took the dog out. But that's another conversation for another day. Let me bring in another comedian, one of my good friends, man. I ain't seen this dude in years. When I say years, it's been easily at least good 10 years, man. It's good to see Mr. Comedian Thomas Ward in the building. T Ward, what's up, man?
Hey, what is the deal? I'm finally on a humor meal platform. It's been years.
Here we go.
Thank you. I'm here. I have arrived. Yes, man. And you do look really bundled up, too. You look really bundled up.
Yeah, I just took my dog out literally like 10 seconds ago before I walked in here. So I didn't even pull up the shirt. I'm still freezing. And it's 17 degrees out here. 17.
Ooh. Yeah, 17. Ooh, you don't want me to show you the outside LA right now. You don't want to see that, do you?
No, okay. I don't.
Okay.
Before we dive in, man, T Ward, how's things with the tour life, man? How's last time I heard from you, man? You was touring with Eddie Griffin, man. How's things?
I was touring with Eddie Griffin from 2015 to 2022. I was opening for his residency in Vegas and on the road doing all the improvs and funny bones, and that came to an end in 2022. And since I've been doing my own thing, I have a TV show out on Tubi right now called The Closers. 7 episodes. We got some great comedians: T-Rex, Mark Simmons, Brent Ernst from Cobra Kai. Some really good comedians, man. Check it out on Tubi TV. Actually, is hit #1 a couple times. So let's keep it up there. Let's keep it going so I can do another season, a season 2 of The Closers. And I also direct the B.D. Freeman show. B.D. Freeman is from VH1. You may remember him from VH1. And yeah, I've been directing his show for the last three years. The B.D. Freeman show. We shoot it every Wednesday in LA. So if you're ever in LA area in the Valley, come on out to Studio 68. Check out the B.D. Freeman show.
One thing we cannot say is my man T Ward has not been busy, bro. You've been like, what? That's good to see that,
stay
bro.
busy. You know, it's LA. You gotta stay busy, Frank.
Yeah, I know. Or you'll be moving out real fast, like a lot of people. You know what I mean? You will move out because that rent don't play. You know what I mean? Let's get ready to dive in, man. Maurice, you're gonna be up first, man. First thing is we want to talk about is the NBA All-Star Weekend. Before I dive into everything, Mo, give me your quick recap of what you thought about NBA All-Star Weekend. You know, we're gonna dive into it deeper. What's your quick take on that?
My quick take on it, man, is that the NBA is just looking to try to fix something that was wrong by today's generation. You know what I'm saying? These guys are not playing. They're not participating in the NBA weekend events like the slam dunk contest. How is it that a G League player is the best slam dunker in the league right now? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not taking nothing away from him because the guy was phenomenal. He was great. I mean, jumping over that car. And the thing I liked about it was he didn't miss on no first dunks like a lot of other dunkers do over the years, which made the dunk contest horrible. The format for the All-Star game on Sunday is terrible, but it needed to be done because the players are the reason why they had to go to that format. They're not playing. They just like, it was the worst. And I don't agree with Draymond a lot, but I do agree with what he said was you go all year to become an all-star to play the 40 and that's it and you're done. No.
Yeah. We're gonna dive into a lot of stuff that you said. We're gonna break it down because ultimately at the end of the day, each one of these things you mentioned is a segment. But again, let's just do an overall assessment. T Ward, what's your overall assessment of NBA All-Star Weekend? You old school, so I expect something different from you, you know, along the lines of what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
You know, the Detroit Pistons, bad boys for life. You know, that's the era that I love. You know, we're looking at a privileged league, man. We're looking at a watered down privileged league. These cats don't really want to compete. They want the max contracts, and you know, dunking is beneath them now. You know, they don't want that tag. Oh, he's just a dunker. But you know, I look at some cats like the one cat I think he plays for the Clippers. He's you know real high jumping brother. And he's really transformed his game where he's not considered a dunker. I can't remember his name. Real slim guy. But we're looking at a really privileged league right now. We're looking at the sons of former NBA players, and we're going into another era where we're getting the Killian Anthony's and the Gilbert Arenas' kids. So I'm telling you, we're really dealing with a watered down privileged league is what you're looking at.
It's interesting you said that, watered down and privileged. I'm gonna dive into that in a second. But Mo, the crazy thing about it is let's look at Friday night, the celebrity game before we even jump into the the dunk contest and all that other stuff. I think the Friday night celebrity game is something that they should do away with and probably make it be like remember back in the day when they had the young guns against the old school players and stuff like that. I think that they should probably make it be maybe the newly retired against the NBA young guys. You know what I mean? Because the celebrity game is, bro, I couldn't even finish. I ain't gonna lie. It took me like 6-7 times to get through just that. You know what I mean? Because that moved really slow. I didn't like that at all. What was your take on the celebrity game? That Friday night example.
Well, I like the celebrity game. I like to see the celebrities that actually do know how to play ball. Watch a lot of NFL guys who come out. Who was it? Micah Parsons. To watch these guys play ball. I mean, some of these guys really are legit ball players. But I do kind of agree with you. I remember when I went to high school, and I was on the high school team, we had our so-called all-star or weekend or whatever, and it would be like freshman versus JV, and then it would be varsity versus the graduate.
Right.
And that was our thing. And I think that's what you were saying is better. Put some of the young gunners up there against some of the veterans and make that more of a thing. But I like the celebrity game. I do. I like the humor. I mean, me being a comedian, come on, man, it's something to laugh at. We need some kind of entertainment because the players ain't giving it to us.
T Ward, help me out with that, man. Did you like it?
I don't like it because I ain't never got a chance to play in one. I guess I ain't celebrity enough to play in no damn celebrity game. I can hoop like a mug. I mean, I'm 55 now. I can't hoop like I could, but it's okay. But I like what he was saying as far as like, remember back in the day when they would show Red Auerbach and he'd be there and they do like some type of demonstration or something like that, or you have the one-on-one like Doc would play Kareem. You know what I'm saying? Like they could bring something like that back. But when people like LeBron just blow off the whole game and just sit, it's just like you sending that message that you don't want to be there. And I mean, if you don't want to be there, just don't show up, man, because that's what takes away the fire. It's like when I think maybe read about 10, 15 years ago, we really saw that the NBA players didn't really want to go to the All-Star game. They just wanted to rest. And I think that mindset kind of festered into the rest of the league. They don't want to be in a dunk contest. LeBron's never been in a dunk contest. Josh like, oh man, I might have to get in the dunk contest. It's like, come on, man. This was made to really elevate the league, and now that the league is really elevated nationally and internationally, I think we seeing the pullback where the players are just like, I don't really feel like doing it now, and it's just like, wow, man, okay, all right.
What you think about LeBron actually pulling out at the very, very last minute? Because that's been the hot topic of a lot of people talking about that on sports talk all day and everything else. LeBron pulls out at the last minute. He hurts a couple other people's chances, and he still shows up at the game. But his last minute decision to tell the NBA he wasn't going to participate. What do you think about that, T?
I want to know why his son wasn't nowhere around. I mean, his son is a first-year player. That's what I'm talking about with the privilege. LeBron is the face of the league. He's still the man, and he knew he wasn't going to play. Just like he knew Anthony Davis was getting traded. He knew. LeBron always trying to play aloof, like, I didn't know that was going to happen, or I didn't know. Shut up, man. You knew before all of us that you wasn't playing. You knew you wasn't. And where was Bronny, man? He a first-year player. He too good to play with the first-year players. See, that's that privilege I'm talking about, man. It's going to ruin the league. All these NBA players' sons, it's gonna ruin it. We ain't gonna want to watch the NBA in 5-10 years when all these privileged. It's gonna be 20 Steph Currys. It's gonna be, it's like we about to watch their kids. Their kids ain't go through nothing. The NBA used to be raw dog niggas off the street. Excuse my language. Raw dog brothers off the street that was poor, that was playing for something, that would dunk. They get in dunk contests, 3-point contests, everything. Now they don't even care about $125. You get an extra. We got to pay y'all extra $125 to play in an All-Star game. Privilege.
Yep. Mo, what you think about this? You know, obviously LeBron not being in the game and calling it the very last minute, because that was really last minute. What you think about it?
Yeah, LeBron knew. I'm all against what LeBron did, man. Come on, somebody else could have got that spot. It would be the West. Somebody in the West could have got. I don't know how they would have drafted it. Anybody. Josh Hart should have been in the All-Star game. He could have had that spot. I feel like the Knicks should have had 3 players: Josh Hart, Cat, and Bronson. A lot of people could have been in that spot, man. Bron knew what he was doing, and it is terrible, man. It's terrible. Kobe Bryant is the last megastar we've seen participate in All-Star Weekend. The last megastar. That's it. These guys today, and that extra 125,000, they don't even care about that. Remember what Bron said about the play-in tournament? I'm not going all out for 500,000.
Yeah, can't knock that either. Everybody, let's welcome our other host to be really soon. Soon as she gets up to speed, I'm gonna get it there. Stacey J's in the building. Stacey,
Good evening, everyone. What is going on? Fine, distinguished gentlemen, how are you this afternoon?
We are doing well. Now, Stacey, I asked the gentleman on side. That's comedian Thomas Ward and comedian Maurice Smith. I'm not sure if you know either one of them. They gave their thought process on NBA All-Star Weekend, and we just stopped to get you up to speed, LeBron James, and obviously him not wanting to compete and telling the NBA at the very last minute that he didn't want to participate in NBA All-Star Weekend. Can you talk to us about either one of those?
Yes, and we touched on this lightly before. The risk for the superstars is not as great as the reward of playing in the All-Star game. Right. That is part of the reason why the All-Star game itself is losing a lot of its allure. Giannis is out, but Giannis has had a lingering injury. LeBron, who undoubtedly everybody wants to see, if you know basketball or not, he decided last minute he had a toe injury. He has lots of phantom injuries, but we're not going to get into that. This is not a LeBron bashing account here. But ultimately, there's nothing really to gain anymore for a lot of the superstars to risk injury, to risk time. They can use that time to rest. Like, if you want to bring load management into it, we can do that as well. So if I have a moment to rest and I'm a superstar and I want to gear up for the second half of the season, I'm going to do that. And the All-Star game doesn't really provide any benefit for them. So I am not shocked at all that LeBron decided to pull the trigger at the last minute.
Yeah, see, T. Ward, I don't think LeBron shocked anybody in the world with this, big, and then Draymond Green comes on obviously the broadcast, and he says what he says about All-Star Weekend, that it was trash, basically, long story short. And then in the same broadcast, he made a statement that I want to talk about right now. He said the Golden State Warriors are going to win the NBA championship. And he put 10 toes down on it. He's like, listen, the Golden State Warriors are going to win the championship. And they asked him, you sure about that? So, T. Ward, how do you feel about NBA player, active NBA player, going on live broadcast television and saying they're gonna win the championship? Because I don't think that's ever happened before. What do you think, T?
He must got some Muhammad Ali in him, because Jimmy Butler is a franchise changer. He's a great fit for them. I mean, they may well get really close. I don't know if they'll win, but they got a great chance with Jimmy Butler on that team. They got a really good chance to come out of the West, because we know playoff Jimmy. Playoff Jimmy is a little different, and he wants to play again. Because my thing was, I don't really think it was about the money in Miami. He didn't want to be second fiddle to Tyler Hero. Pat Riley, he played under Adolph Rupp. Pat Riley always gonna look for the great white player, and he found his great white player in Hero. And Jimmy Butler was like, man, I done carried y'all to two finals. I'm not being second fiddle to this dude. And that's really what it was about. And Jimmy Butler wants to play. Jimmy Butler dangerous.
Okay, I'm really shocked you saying that, because to me it's like you're forgetting about OKC, Denver. Who else am I forgetting? San Antonio.
I just said they're dangerous. They dangerous. I didn't say they're gonna win. They dangerous.
Okay. I want to make sure
they dangerous. I'm not. Come on, man. I'm not riding with Draymond. I know. That's how you know the NBA is soft. Draymond is the toughest dude in the NBA, man. Come on, man. That's how you know the NBA is soft.
Mo, what's your thoughts on that, man? Draymond coming out saying something like that because he put everything on that one. You know what I mean?
Whoever's in Draymond's camp need to make sure Draymond take his medication before he get in front of them cameras. They really do. Because Draymond must have been off his medication to think that they're going to win. But he said what he was supposed to say. What player is going to go up there and say, I don't know, we might win the championship, we might not win the championship? Then me, you, and everybody else on this stream will be dogging Draymond Green. So he kind of said what he was supposed to say. We going to win the championship. Now, do we think he's going to win it? The hell no, he ain't going to win it. Just like you said, OKC. I don't even think Golden State could take out a Houston team because Houston is a running gun and banging down low team. They can't stop a Houston team. No, they're not coming out the West.
No, they can't. Especially if they land in that 9 or 10th seed and they have to match up against the first or second seed. The first and second seed is OKC and Houston. They're gonna have some problem with either one of them.
But they got it. If they get the 9 seed, that's the play-in tournament.
Right.
They got to get out the play-in tournament in order to get to the first seed. And let somebody, like I said, a Houston or somebody like that be in the play-in tournament. I think Houston might be around that league, around that spot. They can't come out there.
No, Houston. No, the play-in tournament, the bottom 3 play for 2 spots. That's how they do it. The bottom 3 play for 2 spots, if I remember correctly. Or is it the bottom 4? The bottom 4. No, it's the bottom 3. They play for the 2 spots. It's the 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th seed. Yeah, the bottom 4. Then they have to play for that 8th spot. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Stacey, what's your thoughts on this? Talk to me about how you thinking about an NBA player going active, saying live on national television that we going to win the NBA championship.
Well, Micah Parsons said it every week on his podcast for the Cowboys. We already knew they weren't going to do anything. So exactly, like if you don't ride for your team, who else is going to do it? So I rock with his delusion. We all know that it's a little bit crazy. Even if it were to be possible, Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody are going to have to show up and continuously show up in a very, very big way. Jimmy Butler's presence might help to that veteran leadership might help to mold them and shape them a little bit. But as you brought up, that Houston team is on fire. So they're going to have a large hill to climb in the West to even be contenders. And when they did win their championships, their bench was a very big part of that too. So we have to look at the depth of their bench as well. And if the bench isn't going to be a large factor in that, it's just like, nobody believes them. Nobody believes them. But, Draymond, do your thing.
I can honestly say, T. Ward, that this is the best West that I can think I've seen. And hell, I almost want to say ever, because OKC is dope. Houston's dope. Denver's getting in a hot streak. And Dallas is coming out of nowhere, and nobody talk about Dallas. You know what I mean? And Dallas with the, we talked about a couple of pieces a couple of weeks ago. Dallas is getting ready to put it together. Just those top 4 are looking pretty good right now. So I don't know what he's. I don't know. You final thought on this, T. What's your take? Final thought.
Don't sleep on the Clippers, man. Do not sleep on the Clippers. I'm not saying anything about the Clippers. The Clippers are hooping, and we get into that peak area, of the season. But I look at Houston, man. They look like a bunch of young gazelles, man. They just jumping. It's just jumping and running. And Udoka is a great coach. That dude can coach. So I do worry about their experience. When going against somebody like Golden State, but they athleticism, and then you got OKC Shea. He just looked like it's just easy for him. He looked like he out there playing 21. He don't even look like he running hard. So yeah, man. It's the experience factor is going to be big, but don't sleep on the Clippers. Ain't nobody saying nothing about the Clippers.
Yeah, and we didn't mention the Timberwolves. We didn't mention the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
There's a couple of teams we didn't mention, and I apologize just for not mentioning those teams, because we all should say right now that the Memphis Grizzlies are doing okay. But listen, honestly, the Clippers they're doing work. And let me look at this list right now. The Clippers doing work. The Minnesota Timberwolves are doing work. The Dallas Mavericks, Sacramento Kings. Those teams are all doing work too, just to come out the West. So for them to say that, it's I don't know, man. The West this is one year where I don't know who's coming out the West. I have no clue. It'd be great to see.
Yeah. You know, that experience, you know, OKC, they lost last year. Was it to Dallas or Minnesota? But they got that experience. You got to take them tough losses to be able to come back and win. And last year they got a tough loss against Dallas. So, you know, I'm looking for them to have a little bit more grit, you know, being able to play and finish those games that they couldn't finish last year. So OKC is definitely dangerous. You know, Joker is going to heat up. I don't know about Denver's bench, you know, and like you said, but I think maybe Sacramento and Memphis, I think they're kind of fragile. I think they stay a little fragile to me, you know, but and like I said, it's really no cakewalk in the West. A lot of teams are dangerous. You know, what if San Antonio creeps in there? You know, you got Fox, you got Chris Paul over there. I mean, if they sneak in there, they could be dangerous too, man. I mean, it's matchups. You know, who would have known that Golden State would have won a couple years ago without Durant? It was the matchups, man. The team takes out a team that you can beat, that you couldn't beat, and you get to beat the team. You know, it's really matchups, man. That's really, playoffs.
I know that better than anybody as a Celtics fan. I know that better than anybody, right, Mo? Because I know you're going to let me have it, Mo. I know you're going to let me have it, but let me ask you about this, Mo. Let's talk about Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant was asked a couple of things. You know, Kevin Durant got cameras put in front of him because right now he's out promoting that new show that's coming on Netflix. It might be out now, about basically the Olympic run that the team did in the Olympics. But while he was doing that, he was asked a couple of questions about the NBA All-Star game, and he heavily criticized the fans and their take. As a fan of the NBA All-Star game and just of the NBA, I know you heard about stuff he said. What's your take looking at, Kevin Durant's sarcastic remarks about fans and how we look at the NBA All-Star game?
The first thing that came to my mind when I heard about that was the old movie Soul Food. If you remember the old movie Soul Food, at the end of the movie, the young boy got everybody together and they were all arguing and talking about, why'd you lie to us? And he was like, y'all messed this up. It wasn't me, it was y'all. That's how the fans feel. Y'all messed this up. We didn't do this. I ain't the one that went into the All-Star game and made it look like a layup line. Y'all messed this up. So y'all need to fix it, man. Y'all getting paid handsomely. We sat back as fans and fought for you guys to get control of your contracts, to get control of the league so they don't do y'all dirty. And this is what y'all do to us. They're acting like politicians, man. They're acting like the president. We gonna make sure y'all are all right. And then when they get into position, forget all about us while they go voting off somewhere. Man, screw Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant need to get a good conversation with a comb and a barber.
Ooh, okay. Stacey, I'm going to ask all this question, but I'm going to start out with Stacey with this question first. A lot of talk came out this weekend, especially Monday morning, about the NBA changing the format to certain things, especially NBA versus the world. Now, we talked about this for a couple of weeks. Now, since we talked about it for a couple of weeks, and now since the ratings were at its lowest, I don't know if you know this or not, Stacey, but the venue was 25% empty. They didn't sell out. You know what I mean? Jaylen Brown even called it out, saying it was the emptiest All-Star game he's ever attended. You know what I mean? It wasn't packed to the rim and everything else. It's almost forcing the NBA to make a change. Do you think NBA versus the world is the change, or you got another thought?
Well, my first thought is yes. I think we all do want Kevin Durant to finally let his soul glow. We want him to have that very important meeting with his barber and a hot comb, one, maybe both, foremost. You gotta try everything if you're the NBA. Who knows? That might be the first step in the right direction. But the NBA has to try something. They tried the Kevin Hart thing. Kevin Hart didn't work. It didn't land. They tried to change up the format. That didn't land. This is like the third year I think they've changed the format. It's just not working. The NBA versus the world, I feel like, would be a good attempt. Noah Lyles, I believe, already challenged that. He was like, you're the champions of what? You're not the champions of the world. You can piggyback off of that and try to start something else, because at this point, if they keep going like this, it's not going to be beneficial or worth it to do an All-Star game. So I feel like you need to pull out all the stops and try everything you can before you get to rock bottom.
Yeah, I kind of think so too. T. Ward, we know we talk about old school stuff all the time. Do you like the East or West? You want them to bring that back? You like NBA versus the world? How would you make the changes? Because they got to do something. There was only 33 minutes of basketball played in 3 hours, bruh. 3 hours. We start.
Hey, move the All-Star game to like Rucker Park or something. Just move it to a park, a court or something. Maybe they'll play harder if they was outside or something. I don't know, man. Do it like the NHL do it. But that probably is a good idea, man. They might want to try the USA against the world type of deal, because I don't see anything else that is really injecting any life into it. Like I said, they just don't want to go out and play hard. They don't want to, nobody wants to get hurt. Nobody, wants to mess up their statistics. So I don't know, man. They need to just play the game in Rucker, man. Just play it at the Rucker.
What would you do? You would just move to Rucker, or what would you do with the NBA All-Star if you had to? You're the NBA commissioner. You got to make a change.
Man, seriously, it's got to be some type of incentive, because as everybody said, they just not playing. NBA against the world is probably your best bet right now. I mean, to me, that's the only thing that's going to create any type of competitiveness out there. They just don't want to be out there. And it's obvious, and the fans like, we're not paying all this money to watch them and they don't even want to play. What's going on?
And
yeah,
Adam
but I will
Silver
say this.
is definitely not about to give those boys any more money. Like, so that's the thing too.
Yeah.
And I also want to say that the All-Star League or the All-Star game is really reflective of the current style of play in the NBA. So the other All-Star games were a little bit more electric. They're a little bit more entertaining because the style of play was very much different than it is now. We're very much moving towards throw it up.
Yeah.
Go to the line, throw it up. Go to the line, throw it up. Not as much defense. If you had the 93 Bad Boy Pistons out there, everybody's tuning in. You don't know if you're gonna see a bucket or some fists. So outside of a literal street fight, yes.
See, Mo, let me throw this out to you, Mo. Let me throw this out there. If you have a USA versus the world team literally could have Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie Irving was born in Australia and he said he would play for Australia. He could play. You got SGA. You got Luka Doncic. You got my girl from Denver.
Joker.
Who else? I
mean, Wembanyama.
Like
you got a lot of players.
Yeah, you got Brooks from Houston. He's from Canada. You know what I mean? You got a lot of players that people quietly don't realize that came from just because they're black, you automatically say, oh, he's from the USA. I think everybody would be shocked, or probably were shocked this year when they saw SGA was from Canada. You know what I mean? So and Brooks, he's from Canada. So that could be a starting backcourt right there. Or Kyrie could start with SGA right there. You know what I mean? So the USA versus the world is what you would look at it from? How you take it?
Well, first thing I want to say is this, because I was at the Four Nations hockey game the other day, and the place was packed. Right. I work at TD Garden. I cooked there. The place was packed and rocking. Both games, it was a doubleheader. But I'm gonna say this though, I don't know if that will work, because how do we vote for the All-Star? Like, how do we vote to get these players in? Some players who might be from other countries may not be All-Stars. So how do we get that in? This is supposed to be like the best of the best, of the All-Star game. That's what it was really supposed to be. Now we just saying, are we just gonna pick random guys to represent their countries and play like someone was saying? We just watching the Olympics all over again.
Interesting. My man Daniel Dugar, comedian extraordinaire, has joined and everything else. It's funny you joined. You picked the perfect time to join too, bro, because we literally are talking about the basketball, USA basketball versus the world, and you've been toting that for at least 3-4 weeks on this show. What you think now after watching this weekend, bro? You think that's what it's going to have to come to?
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I was on with my doctor. What's up, beautiful black people? How y'all doing?
What up, brother?
I didn't hear what the brother just said, but I mean, I'm sticking to what I've been saying, man. I think it should be international NBA All-Stars versus US All-Stars, because what I did witness that I didn't like, one of the things I didn't like was you play your butt off to make the All-Star team. But in reality, this format, we saw All-Star selections play maybe 8 to 11 minutes. because of the format, and it's like the first one to 40 that cheats the fans. I didn't like it. Yeah, they played defense on a couple of series back and forth, but for the most part, they really didn't. And I blame the players. I blame the players. I blame the prima donnas and the divas out there that really don't want to play. If that's the case, just take the All-Star nod and let some All-Stars that really want to play. Like, I don't know if you guys even talked about LeBron.
Yeah,
I didn't like what LeBron did. I thought it was very selfish.
Yeah, we definitely touched on that. I'm sorry you're late to miss that part, but we can circle back on that tomorrow when you join the show tomorrow. We definitely want to circle back on that. T. Ward, let's move on the conversation with this part right here. Right now, they had several conversations about who would be the face of the league, and Anthony Edwards was asked point blank, "Bro, do you want to be the face of the league?" And he said no, which kind of blew me away because I'm like, bro, face of the league means you get extra endorsements, you just the more doors open for you. Do you like the fact that he came out and said that on national television? I'm
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think he's a real good kid, but he's very naive about a lot of things. You know, like some of the statements that he makes. You know, some of the guys from the '80s was plumbers. You know, I don't think he really understands the whole scope of what being in the NBA really entails. You know, if he's the face of the league, I mean, of course, that's a good thing, but maybe he doesn't want all the responsibility that comes along with it. Like he's in the commercial with KG. He's like, I just want to hoop, man. Yeah, but, you know, there's some stuff that comes along when you're hooping at a certain level. But, hey, if you don't want to be the face of the league, don't be the face of the league, you know. But who is the player? Does it have to be an American player? Are we losing the NBA to the international game? I mean, are there 12 foreign all-stars? And when we look through the rosters, would there be, you know, enough to field a team? So, you know, it leaves a lot of questions. Who's going to be the face of the league? Is it going to be an American or an international player?
You know, Stacey T. Ward just brought up a great point because people were debating that today. Should an international player be the face of the league? Because, you know, everybody's trying to make it be Wemby if it's not going to be Ant Edwards. What you think?
So first, I do think that Ant does recognize all the responsibility that would be carried onto being the face of the league, and which is why he doesn't want to do it. I don't think he wants the criticism. I don't think he wants to have to deal with the public in general when he doesn't want to, and he doesn't want to have to be a poster boy or poster child of good behavior, whatever it is. He just wants to hoop. But with that being said, I do feel that the league should have a poster child that is the best representation of the league in general, no matter where they are from. America is supposed to be this place that encourages immigration from other places, and you come here, you make it like so. We will encompass that if the NBA really does put the best person out front. Ant would be a good front runner, but there are also a lot of other people that would do so as well. So doing that will be staying true to what the traditional premise of what America was founded on altogether. Go NBA.
Mo, do you think that the NBA is going to try to go down the lane of trying to groom an NBA international player because they're not liking the participation of what's going on with American NBA players? Like what Stacey hit the nail right on the head about Ant Edwards, because Ant Edwards is dealing with baby mama drama, talking about, you know, he didn't want to father the child. I mean, he didn't father the child, and he's disputing that. And you know what I mean? Like Michael Jordan was clean cut. You know what I mean? He's clean. You know what I mean? So they're having issues trying to find an American, you know, player. What's your thoughts?
You know, I think at this point right now, it's hard to find out who's going to be the face of the league. It may have to be an international player. It just might have to be. You know,
Mhm.
but for Anthony Edwards to turn it down, I'm not surprised, because today they don't need to be the face of the league to earn endorsements and extra money and things of that matter. Social media has helped people to take their careers so far, whether they deserve it or not. As a comedian, I'm watching comics come up who can't do 10 minutes, but they can sell out a room because they got a catchphrase. You
Yeah.
know, and things of that matter. And now they the face of comedy. Oh, this is the new guy in comedy. Yet still, I'm still banging it out at open mics and opening up for other cats, just trying to hope to get invited somewhere. The face of the league, I don't think it is as important as it was when it was Bird, Magic, Jordan, and LeBron. Plus, who's winning? These new guys, nobody's winning consistently enough to become the face of the league. You got to win.
Great point. Dugar, you got a lot of relationships with people in the NBA and everything else. I know you have conversations about this. Should the NBA move forward with an international face of the league?
Hey, David Stern made the game global.
Right.
I think it will make American players step up. I don't have no issues with it being a European player, because it's an international game. What Anthony Edwards says, I get it. He has all the attributes to be that guy, but some of that energy is not it. I thought Jason Tatum was gonna be the guy. I guess he too pretty. I guess they didn't want no pretty dude. You know, Wemby could possibly be that guy, man. Wemby could possibly be that guy because his ceiling is so high. It's just hard to say right now, man, who that is. I think they need to focus on fixing All-Star Weekend first before they even get into that, and just take it from there, because that's really to me losing ratings.
Now this now segues into this. If you find the face of the league, right, maybe you could do certain things as you move forward. But I think you should focus on the face of the league from who wins in the playoffs. So now that brings me to this next point. You believe more in, I heard this question today. I wanted to ask this. Do you believe more in the Lakers after the trade or the Knicks as constructed now, T Ward? Who you believe in most? The Lakers.
Well, the Knicks being in the East, they are very dangerous as constructed. But the jury is going to be out on the Lakers with Luka over the next couple of weeks, because they really don't have a very serviceable big man at this point. I don't know if they can bring back Dwight Howard. I don't know if people want to be in the locker room with him, but I don't know. But the Lakers, they got great perimeter play. They got a lot of really good perimeter play, all the good 6'8" guys, but they don't have a big man. So it's like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They have a rim protector. I know Luka and LeBron are getting all the shots. So whoever's your big man is not going to be shooting the ball. But he's got to be able to protect the rim and get rebounds and keep the game going.
Okay.
You got to be able to guard Joker. They need some fouls for Joker. They need to get if they got to go get 3 bums, we need to foul Joker. Because Denver has got the Lakers number. So
Stacey, who do you believe in more? Because now we get ready to do this playoff push. Who do you believe in more now? Do you believe in the Mavericks or the Golden State Warriors as now newly constructed after the trade?
Honestly, I believe more in the Mavericks. We have yet to see how the chemistry between Jimmy Butler and the rest of the players. I'm actually really interested to see, when it comes down to it, the chemistry between Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler all on the court together. If something happens, who's gonna go first? You got a prima donna and Mr. Rock'em Sock'em Robot. So at any point in time, it could all implode. And I think that the Mavericks have a better core chemistry-wise. They have Clay there, that's good. They have Kyrie, which we just said, who is not injured, which is great. And if Anthony Davis gets healthy enough and comes back, I think it gives them all a solid, cohesive chain together, better than the Warriors as is right now.
Okay, so let me ask Mo who he believes in more. Mo, you believe in more the Knicks right now, or I know I want to ask you, do you believe more in the Sixers right now? Because obviously with the trades and everything else now, and the injuries and everything else that happened with the Sixers and everything else, or now the Denver Nuggets who are now on the hot streak as they're moving forward.
I'm gonna go with the Denver Nuggets all day long. You know, I knew the Sixers were fugazi when they started making all these moves. Come on, man. You got your all-star player just coming out before the season starts saying, I ain't doing back-to-backs. You know what I'm saying? That's like me getting hired to work at somebody's house and I'm walking in, I don't wash windows and I don't watch kids. Man, you're gonna do what you gotta do to get this paycheck. You know, and Denver has been there already. What has Philly done? I'll wait.
Yeah,
I'll wait. Denver's
great.
been there already. You know, we were all sitting here last year shocked that Denver didn't advance into the finals. Everybody had Denver to go back to back. So I believe more in Denver than I do Philly. Come on, man. I wouldn't take Philly down to Rucker Park.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, okay.
Dugas.
Now
Rucker Park in there. Ooh.
Right. He did throw that in there. Now the trades happened. This West is trying to get settled. So now that the West is trying to get settled, people are starting to look at the top. So let's look at the top in the West. Who do you believe in more now, as constructed now? OKC or the Houston Rockets?
I like OKC, but go backwards on that with the Warriors and who was it? Was it Warriors in Dallas?
Yeah.
That you asked, Stace? I think a humble leader is adapted and equipped to follow also. And I think Butler and Draymond will be fine. I'm curious to see what they're going to look like when Kuminga comes back. And they do need a big man. The Warriors desperately need a big man. The Lakers are actually constructed to win the title, even though I hate to say that, based on matchups. It's really the playoffs. It really comes down to how the matchups are, because we saw Golden State win without a center.
Yeah.
And the Lakers have enough bodies to throw at a big man based on matchups.
You know what, Dugas? I love you, but I love how you went back to your fandom, bro. I'm still trying to get you to
but I'm not being biased towards Golden State. Golden State needs a big man.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I want you to focus more on OKC and Houston, because I know because you're in Houston. I know you focus on that, and you're like, man, I can't let Golden State get out of here with what Stacey said.
Houston is going to win a title, I think, in the next 3 years, but I think OKC is ready to win one now.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great answer, because I think they are. Actually, you literally could say they both could win right now. I think you could make an argument they both could win. You know what I mean?
Hey, real quick, I didn't know Thomas Ward was hey man, I miss you, man. Love you, bro. I ain't seen you in 2 decades or more. It's
Likewise,
good to see you,
my
man.
brother. Likewise,
right,
my first time seeing
you.
You too, man. For my first time seeing Dugar in a t-shirt.
Hey man, look. I'm trying to get this 6'3" frame together at 61 years old, man. I'm trying to get it right.
Woo.
Just stay consistent, brother. Stay consistent. That's all you can do.
That's it.
My man Rodney Perry has decided to join. Rodney, I thought you were going to the movies, bro. What happened?
Nah.
Rodney Perry.
I told you I was gonna take my daughter tomorrow. I told you that.
Oh, I thought it was today. I thought you said today. How you doing, Rodney? How's everything, bro? Give us your thoughts on
I
NBA
said today, but I text you got to say tomorrow.
No, I ain't get it yet.
Huh?
Tell me what your thoughts on NBA All-Star Weekend. What's your thoughts? Rodney, can you hear me?
I thought it was pretty cool. Everybody talking about they might add it. They think about adding one-on-ones. I like the dunk contest. The white boy killed it. What else? I kind of like the team thing, you know, even though I didn't feel like everybody was evenly matched.
Yeah. Well, we'll come back to
all in all, it was a cool experience.
All right, so T. Ward, let me throw it to you, and I'll be back to Rodney Perry in a second. T. Ward, let me throw it to you, and I'm going to keep this thing moving on. I'm not sure if you heard the news, but Netflix is getting ready to shake up the game. I'm bringing it up here for the sports talk show because the game is getting ready to change with the NFL. The Netflix is going to change that for all our purposes and everything else. Why? Because they want to make it an international game. They're getting ready to literally lock up afternoon games worldwide and broadcasting it on streaming platforms. This bothers me a whole lot. I want to test the temperature of what y'all's thoughts are about the NFL being broadcast on Netflix worldwide. What's your thoughts on this, T?
I mean, over the last couple of years, they're slowly but surely taking the NFL away from your ability to watch it for free. I mean, you can barely catch it. There's no more Monday Night Football on ABC. That was a tradition growing up. You know, they got the Thursday night game on Amazon. I mean, just slowly just making us pay for the NFL. It's like, we can see what y'all doing. Like, in a minute, you're going to only be able to pay a subscription to watch the NFL. Hell, Tubi carried the Super Bowl. So they have the NFL is slowly ripping the free product away from the consumer and the fan. That's what I see.
That's it. Mo, what you see? How you see it? Do you see it as a good thing or as a bad thing? Because you could be in Greece watching the Super Bowl in about a year, literally.
I mean, but why isn't that able to happen now with all these platforms? Why they got to take it away? You know, it takes me back to boxing. Remember when boxing was free, and then all of a sudden everything went pay-per-view?
Yeah.
And then Mike was knocking people out before you even got to the TV set. And now, what do we think about boxing? Oh yeah, we got Jake Paul, right? Boxing suffered. It's going to happen to the NFL. They're going to suffer, man. You know, people going to get tired of shelling out all this money. I mean, the tickets are ridiculous. The outfits are, you know, the buying the jerseys and all that. It's just going to be too much. And then the NFL is going to suffer from it.
Stacey, what's your take on this coming from a broadcast point of view?
Yes, you kind of saw this coming for a few reasons. First of all, the NFL is the largest revenue generating sport in America. So they know that wherever they take the NFL, people are going to follow regardless. Also, the NFL is expanding into a lot of different other markets internationally. They're already playing in London. They played in Germany. They're trying to get stuff going in Africa. So the conversation of moving all of the games to different platforms, paid subscriptions platforms were inevitable. Like, because you have 16 games, 17 games, maybe 18. Now
About
the FOMO,
18.
18 now. The FOMO is there, and people are going to pay to watch it. We coming.
Yeah, Dugard, do you have a problem with paying?
Hey man, with this new administration, SpaceX gonna start televising them too. I think people that really don't have all these subscriptions to watch certain shows, some people are just basic cable, they're going to be weeded out, because I find myself going to my mother's and bringing her to my house for her to watch her Saints on TV. So people that don't have Netflix and all those kind of things, I think they're going to be weeded out, and those fans still exist. You know, capitalism can be a beast sometimes, and it can be a setback when you look at it in totality, but it's all about money. Yeah, unfortunately.
It really is. Rodney Perry, give me your final thoughts on this.
Great hat, Rodney.
Yeah, it is.
Brother. Thank you, brother. Wow. I think we saw this before. All of us are old enough to have said, I'm not going to pay no doggone $5 for no gas.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I remember when cigarettes went to, $100 a carton. My mother was like, I'm about to quit. She didn't quit. Mm-hmm. So the reality is that things change, and this is just another example of things changing. Streaming is real, but how about this? They don't have a real hold on streaming yet. They tried to stream that Beyonce game, that Dallas Christmas game, and that stream was horrible. They was behind. It wasn't good. So I don't know if they have I don't think they're great at streaming yet. Like broadcast TV is still the best way to watch a game, and so we'll see how it turns out. But streaming is here. It ain't coming. It's here.
Yeah, I agree with that. T. Ward, yeah. I got to switch the subject to something that I saw and over the weekend. And again, I had an issue with this exact problem a couple of weeks ago. Justin Tucker, the kicker for the Baltimore Ravens, has now had a total 7 more women step forward. Now we are looking at almost 20 women who are talking about this man has somehow or another sexually assaulted them behind the scenes, and you don't see that news anywhere. And I asked the fellas here, is it because he's a kicker? Is it because of what? What's the reason why we
Go on, say it, Frank. Go on, say it, Frank.
I think it's. I honestly think it's because he's white. I'm not just. I'm not gonna. Go ahead, T. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I mean, you answered your own question. He same charges. Deshaun Watson, they had him plastered over everything. He was the worst quarterback. He was the worst person in history. He was all over Fox News. He was the exact same thing. No energy, nothing. We're not hearing anything about it. Only the social media news platforms are saying anything about it. There's not. I don't even. Has ESPN even said anything? I mean, I haven't heard anything from ESPN.
I didn't see it one time mentioned today, and his allegations are even more explicit than it was with Deshaun Watson, which is really pissing me off. Go ahead.
Right. Like I said, it's that lack of energy for the complexion of protection is what we're dealing with. And the media, they show their bias all the time. Leon throwing up the signal. I call him Leon because he's an African-American. Throwing up the signal, but, nothing. It's like nothing. It's like, okay, you're making it obvious that we are the pariahs of the society in the media, period. We are the people to attack when something happens, something goes awry. But the other people who run everything that do it, they can do it. Nothing, no words, protect them, sweep it under the rug. And ESPN, I've really fallen off from watching them because of this type of journalism. And it's really sad. It's really a shame that it's almost tabloid-like when they deal with us, but nothing when the other people, and like you said, he's a kicker. They try to make, he's just a kicker. Nobody cares. No, these are serious allegations. I don't care if he was a damn water boy. I don't care if he was a damn dude that carries the first down markers. This has to be addressed, and it's not being addressed, and we know why.
And I agree with that. Now, Mo, I'm gonna ask you this because when I put it out there, I didn't think it was a color issue. I thought it was because of kicker, the QB issue. But this morning, after I looked at the news and I didn't see it anywhere. I'm starting to lean more now. It's a color issue, which I hate to say because I don't think everything is like that. But what your thoughts on this issue? Because now, like I said, almost 20 women have been, and they are coming out with some explicit allegations saying like this dude, he's the best kicker in football, but these women are saying some really horrific things. What's your take, Mo?
Man, why are we surprised about this, man? It's always been that way, man. Donald Goins had a book that was written called White Man's Justice, Black Man's Grief. Come on, man, it's been like this. They get away with more than the brothers do. I mean, it's always happened that way. It's been that way. It's going to be that way. Whether you the kicker, the owner, or whatever. Come on, man. It's sad, though, because Deshaun, he got a lot of flack behind it, and Tuck, he's not catching anything behind it, but they handle things differently. They're going to snatch it. Believe me, they're going to snatch all his money from him. They will snatch his paper from him, and he gonna feel it, but he's not going to be exposed as if it was me, you, or another brother. But why are we acting surprised? Why?
I agree with that. Stacey, as a woman, talk to me. Tell me what your thoughts on looking at this, especially a woman who loves sports. What's your take on this?
Yeah, so first and foremost, we already know the complexion for protection decree is in order right now. But something else you also have to learn about the NFL is they have an army of people that will not let anything get out that they don't want people to know. They know about things before they happen, before they hit the news, and they have the connections to bury whatever it is that they want to bury. When Deshaun Watson's news came out by day 3, we knew how many times he'd been to these places, exactly where he went, the girls' names, the girls' ages, and what he likes. And he was a lot. But there isn't anyone that particularly benefits in the league or around Justin Tucker right now for all of this information being out about him. And so they are doing a very great job of trying to keep it under wraps and off of the tabloids and out and not being out for discussion. Again, Deshaun Watson was in the middle of a battle with his own organization about his contract, about being moved, and about other things. And very timely that all these things came out, and it damaged him enough for him to be able to be moved with and skirt around some of the red tape. With that being said, as a woman in sports discussing these things, you never want to discredit any woman in any experience that they say that they have, and we've moved beyond allegations with Justin Tucker at this point. This stuff has been proven. So the Ravens are going to do what they need to do quietly, of course, because they don't want to have any more bad press, bad PR, anything reflecting negatively on the team itself. But yeah, that's just how it goes. We won't hear much. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt too, saying it was Super Bowl week, the All-Star game was coming up. There was a lot of other things to talk about, but now there's no reason.
Yeah, Ed Dugard, did you notice that this news came out during the NBA All-Star, all the festivities and everything, and got buried in the cycle? Did you notice that?
Yeah, man. I was getting a massage a few weeks ago, and this Asian chick asked me if I knew Deshaun. I think his complexion is definitely going to protect him. We've seen this before. You mentioned that you don't always think color is. I think we're living in modern day civil rights movement right now. This where we are right now, and things are getting ready to change, and we've already witnessed it. I think the allegations are serious, man. But it's like some way, somehow, it's being swept underneath the rug, sort of, kind of. And if it was, say it was Ant-Man or say it was Draymond, it'll be on 60 Minutes. So we have to really understand the climate in which we live, man. It's really always about color.
Sorry to say, I think you're 100% right. Rodney Perry, you got the last word of the show. Talk to me.
Hey guys, y'all know I'm the first one to pull the race card, man, but I don't know if that's it, man. I blame Amanda. That's Justin's wife. It's her fault. You got to dust him off. You got to dust that man off first thing in the morning. That's your job as a wife and a spouse. You got to dust the man off. He don't want nothing else. You understand me? And we brought up Deshaun. He ain't threw a good pass since he stopped getting massages. Let me tell you something. These guys.
Amen, Rodney. Amen, Rodney. Yes, sir.
These guys need some, for lack of a better word, vagina. And I feel bad for him. You know, I've never been the one that's been driven by it, but I get it. I've had some wonderful slices of the old American pie. And again, man, I blame Amanda.
Well, y'all, that's the show. Thank you all for coming, tuning in, and watching the show. I got to thank Thomas Ward, T. Ward, my man, for joining the show. Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you, brother.
T. Ward, before you roll up out of here, please tell everybody how they can follow you, how they can find you, what's going on in your world, and what's the latest.
Like I said, every Wednesday here in the Valley in LA, I shoot the BD Freeman show. Also, I have the Closers on Tubi TV. We've been doing number one in the K, or whatever they call it, the algorithm. So please check out the Closers, 7 episodes. Watch all the episodes. Check me out on my social media, T Ward Comedy TV on Instagram and TikTok. I need some followers because they won't book me at no clubs because I don't have no followers. So let's get my followers up. And thank you, Frank. Thank everybody. See all you. I love seeing my brothers that I don't get the chance to see very often, like Dugar and Rodney. And hey, thanks a lot, Frank. Appreciate this, man.
Thank you for joining the show, man. Rodney Perry, I saw your topic on the crime podcast, man. I was like, wow, I got to watch that one. But tell everybody out there what your latest podcast is. Go ahead.
Of course, it's Comedy and Crime. It's on the streets. We just dropped a new episode. Every Tuesday, we drop a new episode, 3 o'clock. And wow, I just want to thank Frank and the Human Meal for thinking about it. My social media is Rodney Perry Live on all social media. And wow, thank you to Cleveland. Great shows in Cleveland this weekend. And we're headed to Greensboro, North Carolina this week. So I'm excited. I feel myself turning the corner, guys. And the comedians know what I'm talking about. Started to sell tickets, started to sell out a show here and there. And I was here right before the pandemic, and I feel like I'm there again. Hopefully the world will shut down.
Yeah, that's the word. That's word. Dugar, talk to me. What you got?
That's great. That's great news, Rodney. Great news for you too, Thomas. You can catch me social media, Daniel Dugar Carnival. Also, this summer, Dugard's Closet is dropping. That's my book on my fashion. Basically, I'm giving you my closet in a book form. I'm proud of that. I've been working on it quietly for a minute. I'm also coming to some comedy clubs. We're just trying to lock the dates down. So Daniel Dugard Carnival is where you can find me. And y'all follow me.
There it is. And the last comic in the building, Mo.
Yeah, y'all can catch me locally this weekend at the Historical Comedy Studio, opening up, and I'm going to be banging in another set that night over at Democracy Brewing, closing it out.
That's
Doing my
Boston,
thing.
right? That's Boston.
In Boston, Massachusetts. That's right. They don't book me nowhere else but in Boston, but that's all right. I'm going to keep going and keep grinding. And always remember, Dysfunctional Referee will be hitting the waves real soon.
And Stacey, tell everybody how they can follow you. My favorite broadcaster. I couldn't say that. Couldn't say that word.
Listen, are you telling the truth? Because it was hard to get the line out. Listen, I just tell you all the time.
Yeah,
But
you sound like my grandma. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
You can find me on Instagram at Darnett Stacey J or on TikTok at Stacey X Sports. I also am part of a sports and entertainment podcast, all female ran at the She Shed on Spotify.
Thank you all for watching. The show's called Humor Mill. It's on Humor Mill. The show's called Box Seat. See you all tomorrow. We don't know who the guest's going to be yet, but thanks T Ward, Rodney Perry, Daniel Dugard, Mo, and Stacey for obviously all chiming in. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow. We got diving into the NFL, T Higgins situation, and of course, we're going to be talking about people who are going to decide to freeze out their teams. Can't wait to focus on that. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank y'all.
White chocolate.
Peace.